asem no kind no asset to no e dia man. One, supporters o muntimi in stadium. Two, say Kotoko bed no ho. Na enko say da bia e come nhyia kopisika. Three, park and so resort. Any Africa omukui o metimi anya good resort. Na aboama ekuo no etimi akọ eye enkan.
Rich. Kotoko election way in some bebre and set the tone. Say you be discussing one big aspect of
election no
Kotoko.
Okay.
Na yet me are generalizing to all the clubs never Ghana Hano in terms of supporters and so omo chefa omo betimi dia boa clubs amo omo tumpom. Ndi edikan. Rich. Since our IMC led by Nana Pinkabayan, for me, one of our biggest achievements how our Omafa election way so are rebranded Kotoko supporters.
With the Fabu census no.
Yes. They've rebranded Kotoko supporters now. And me can rebranding now. What I want to say is through the IMC initiative say yen change Kotoko supporters election from the na nim mother body circles abatuo no na yen restructure no to say supporters are omu contributing on Fabu census platform no and I be recognize omu as supporters of the club na omu be eligible omu ho kwan ato aba edie yi omu supporters. Rich, what that means and say number one enei se wo be say wo ye Kotoko supporter na you recognize you as Kotoko supporter, then you need to be a contributing person to the club. And yes sebi yeah no. In the schemes of things of Kotoko, officially you are not recognized. Number two, Rich, say, in your penny chairman solo, onye circus chairman, or your Kotoko supporters chairman. And yet circus assembly now, because on the Fabu census platform, Kumapim for her, Kotoko faithfuls for her. Any Kotoko group biya or mati biya, including among any groups singing, any even among joining groups, they are all parts of Fabu census platform now. And today, Kotoko supporters platform are recognized by only contributors. And number two, it has moved from circles, it is now a larger and a bigger platform for every Kotoko supporter. To access that is easy. Say, join circles, circles number. Say, the WhatsApp platforms. No. If you want to be recognized as Kotoko supporter, just go on the Fabu census, make your plan, choose the category a bit so now also about a member. So for me, Rich, this is one of the biggest legacies and an African led IMC no at the Amakotoko. Now, Rich, before I go to the chairman solo any supporters no best omoyeno, let me say this. Se Fabu census platform no. Se the kind Kotoko supporters leadership any IMC no, Rich. It's me a grow sa platform no. From the eligible voters of 9,604. Now, Rich, in the coming years, yet me because numbers now have reached 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Rich, do you know the next thing this Fabu census platform can do? Then the Kotoko supporters can write to Nhyira and say, Opemso, in deciding omu be lead Kotoko as Kotoko board no, say ope enko 4-5, we are pleading, give us 2 reps from Nhyira and let your supporters choose the trainer through the Fabu Sensors platform. That is where the Kotoko supporters must aspire to get. I also want to grow Fabu Sensors platform and contribute to the club. Any power so hard to the extent say, Rich, now when they are able to go to their traditional home,
sure.
When they want to be involved in who runs the club, and before we recognize them, say, Charlie, more contribution to the club. Sika say na Madiba club ni muntino. Ye man wakonya say, ye the 2 reps beba. Mu voting for 3 reps to become board members of the club. That is where Kotoko must get to.
Because Ode Ayala, some crowd okay. Imagine, in the TBC as Kotoko supporters around 8 million. So the Fabu Sensors no bear 6 million. You registered. Abusumi be able to contribute to 1 city crowd the Kotoko. And we dance
exactly. So
and yes, sponsors near the
so
yes.
So the culture of socials was Spain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Muno. Rich, it is only when this is grown, then you will be recognized as a financial contribution to the club. No, a demo for Manchester to say, look, if we let's do that. Now you see, Rich, the rippling effects say Kotoko do standard now, and they say it will then inform Obia say, look. Kotoko club no, I just don't want to be a supporter. I want to be Obia. Me so me decision. I can who be near the run club no. Me wa akonya say me to my board member. I oba run club de dia mami. Every 3 years, every 4 years, you wa akonya to change them. If they give say direction nobody ko ne kono, enye say no mo promise based on mo campaign message ni there. Look, Rich, adie ba ko a ebetinya revive Kotoko supporters is when they start to have a say in the club and not just Brabahebo. So they must grow that. Rich, they are tossing me answer. Kotoko chairman, supporters chairman. Ujumedie kesiye is to mobilize supporters to the stadium. And it's on Medi Kotoko Konechi. That is your biggest, about 80% of your job. Now, Argentina Kotoko supporters mobilization, abe a problem. They are in research and organize supports. You need to be able to organize Kotoko supporters to follow the team. Rich, in Pempi, it has always been money. Sika ni ho. Rich, I want Kotoko to get to a certain level. Omu babe standing as Kotoko supporters chairman. Who say, oh, onyo the 4. But it will be more about the ideas of the mobilization. The some aspect of supporters mobilization must come from a percentage of the Fabu Sensors money.
I'm going to say if you no, or for bases, no, a basin go for stadium.
I saw that on Sajine.
Yeah, that's kind of saying,
Untimi Yenche and Kotokona Yaman Senku. The one who personally would do Sikaya would do a you say, oh, enough. And Unti Nana Pinka. And the kind Kotoko supporters leadership led by Chairman Solo should make it a policy. Say, if Kotoko really want to do what we call organized supporters and make gains in the mobilization of supporters, Rich, there is a certain percentage of the Fabu Senso Sika I want to say strictly to Kotoko supporters mobilization. Now, Rich, say if they are able to solve that problem, that is why I come into what Chairman Solo was saying. Rich, who is here? Say, Ubie Richardo group of companies. Nasa Oka say, you want to find attractive brands. I would do company no ebe kwa sponsor na so kwa partner no amo musika. Rich, there's only one thing you will look for. Echitai. Because it ayomo and a commercial omo no bediga. Anya Kotoko Dino. Some of them who ko bata. Eti tafo na ho keke edi team na chine te san. Eti so mu se maba. Omo baba be to man dey na because that is where you enunti no. Say if you are able to mobilize the supporters well. Na Kotoko edom edi achie no. Esa ba biemu a. Rich, that is where you agree with Chairman Solo say. Now probably yeko mensha ko giska no. It will only reduce when Kotoko becomes a fun mobilized team. Supporters around it. The public interest Rich, I'm telling you, the reason why the likes of Barca money, Arsenal money, Real Madrid, they attract these big sponsors from Emirates. It is because of their fan base. The reason why Manchester United are conform when it comes to sporting wise, but commercially they are still very viable is because they are one of the biggest fan base in the world.
Do you mileage,
That is it. And to Rich, football piano. They are attractive of sponsors and a partnership. MLB economically viable entity. How you mobilize your supporters around the team. And you by fluke say, Arsenal money man you must almost Hong Kong, Singapore, pre-season, one match, two. Look, they know say it is very, very important to always galvanize your supporters. Let the commercial world see say, these are my fans. If you come along, these are the people you are going to do business with.
Okay.
And Rich, it is a very, very good idea, but there is a long way to go. Yeah, Nyamiadum, we've done research on why people are not going to stadium. We've presented their findings to the Kotoko people. Chairman Solo was part. Chairman Solo de Bio I say Ayala or research I was a woman biona etimidi and yoma. We are always available. Into congratulations to him, congratulations to Nana Penkramo for organizing the circles, through the medium great initiative. History will always remember them. So part and the growth now what we must do to get where they want to get to know there. Rich, it is what I have explained. And the other class can tap into this easily.
Has NCC elections,
so they must tap alongside these lines. Yes.
Kofi?
Rich, I think when it comes to supporters, for every traditional club, you can't do away with supporters. Literally impossible. Whatever the case is, you need to make sure we're involved with supporters on everything that the club will do. And maybe Adia Bakopan and Mamani Jehon is the fact now it looks as you say the current Kotoko management, the current Kotoko board, and also the supporters are willing be understanding the current trends. And a big advantage for them when it comes to tracking the Kotoko demographics normal supporters and how to get to them and marketing. When you say even in terms of Chairman Solaba, the leader of the Kotoko supporters, it's important to be surrounding with almost of the various demographics because Chairman Solania Fikakra, the younger populace is important for the Kotoko base and important for them. In fact, Basa Social Ayala Kano, they have almost 4,500 in a sort of a general assembly. By force support and the board no you. But whilst there is the board and you help in the election of the board, you also have a general assembly from the Basa Socials. I know almost about 140,000 plus supporter base. And it's very important for Kotoko to take this process very well. Again, Rich, Adia Bakwa, we say a very important and we will lose track of is the fact that Kotoko is a very political club. Take it or leave it. Barcelona is a very political club. Every club be a traditional is hinged in a lot of divisions amongst fourth lines. But divisions can be a good strength for every club because Rich, and we can understand and agree to disagree and find solutions, and that's the issue. Whilst Chairman Obenseche Elusuno, it's important for reconciliation. Whatever the case, I believe that is the first step in going forward.
Yeah. Say Union or Lucy.
Yeah.
But Kenebra.
Exactly.
On those ideas.
Now,
yes.
In fact, I think say whatever. I don't think Obenseche. But it's important for the growth of Kotoko. Onusu onkophobia or influence. Onusu onkophobia betimidioma. Also setting ideas to get them on board to push the Kotoko brand. See, Rich, there are two forms of getting data and then, of course, tracking growth. There are some of them you can tell and ubetimi asom near friend ade physical na ubetimi hu okay ade ni nie ubetimi woni ahu no then the things that you can see with your eye Kotoko hu ne mefe. Look at how Kotoko's Jesse unveiling is money, but how to translate the digital growth of Kotoko into the physical growth. Ubetimi okay, the people are coming to the stadium, they are important. We have seen several times that some supporters chairman can say, oh, the team is not playing well in T. Rich, your job as a supporters leader, and you say team no mbobo yenti no, usio mbobo yenti, omo stadium. You need to do more to let fans understand, even in terms of education. Rich, the role of a fan in the modern game is to provide support.
But if you said man,
but yes, Rich,
we have fun.
Yes, Rich. Someone said several times. Enzo Maresca at not match press conference. I say Chelsea players need ball short passes. Kana fans need boo or sromo. Yes, sir. Players need to be more born. And even at times where when we say you may be enquiring, you go on to big up the fans. Said wow, because you are very critical. And like you said, your crew must say economic situation is no more than bread and butter issues. Obi akwa edmo magazine. O share no pass. On fan funny can go Kotoko, and you don't get from it. But Rich, beyond the football.
Obi wa be calling chain. Ebia for instance, Chairman Solabe. Abetras okay, but I mean could be a Messi for instance. Go say nipa to na o na do so Kotoko support the blably. I hope be. Me no mo kokasa, me ntie o mo reasons ni say ntie no mo stadium. Obako no betimi aka just Chairman. Person bo ba mini case can mam case.
But even in advanced countries,
easy.
Rich, in advanced countries. Tickets in UK and US no boarding. People are paying tickets, regular ticket for £200. No boarding. Yes, there were economic issues. I'm not comparing £200 to 50 cities and I say 10 cities. Yeah, economic issues no peculiar to yen. Yeah, your mob is boarding and day. But I'm saying that is why the supporters chairman aba. And your fans it's about letting the fan know say Mr. Yes, you may more in India, but anything else you baby say you are here home and you be a wow. Ebi are saying say oop you be wow on the car. Ebi say. But you see, we can also be creative around it. That's one thing I mean when you say Chroma say in solving problems. Which we can look at welfare, common welfare, obi join kori keke. But otiasie say ene asem tona. You be ba ne moa. Ene ebia or ye bibi ye wa ko jano. That alone in terms of warfare can be enough because there are people that or join ku and need jiso or join ku keke. So the club may not be winning, but because our now for building relationship, the connects because Rich Kotoko can have an annual or mid-year connect. I will teach you for Kotoko. People in there, even aside that. Say Obi want a business company, there can be an avenue. Side business or the two want Kotoko fancies. Oh, mini Kotoko you can do. So let me go and purchase. All of these are positives that you can get from being part of it. You make it solely based on performance, Rich, you will not succeed. Because in football, there is no club in 8 months season, or best check the beer for 3 months straight, put that and you're possible. There is always a blip. There is always a blip. Into the enya blip piano akoda. Debbie. The club has to be able to perform. And I don't know when the performance of the technical team is not going well, the fans will have to voice it out. But in all of that, the support of the supporters and the fans of Kotoko, and the soul of the club.
Because we had situations at Kotoko was shit.
Yeah.
Or Tanaba Stadium was shit.
Still.
But still, supporters didn't cost you.
Exactly.
I mean, okay. Now, more Kasamu complaints and I'm going to say, oh, team didn't shit.
Exactly.
Players don't grow up, Bobo, any at home, any other two cost you grant. Once then who play at it to be our coin. Yeah, 2 players the bar. The team is winning. Yeah. But still, fans didn't cost you.
The fans are not good.
So it means that there's a problem.
It's important, Rich. You see, one of the other things I think that Kotoko Krabi team and I don't know, it's not totally in their hands. But it can be an appeal and plan, work on with the supporter base to get that done. Rich, Ewo Krumasi, Friday nights, there aren't too many places for non-outside people to go. Friday, you may. No, make us say, and you say be a nurse sound, but also Obi on that traditional way of chilling on a Friday night, up a wall.
Okay.
And Friday time we do they will want to go and watch the game. And in all of these things, when you have a strong supporter base and a strong and a united supporter fronter, they push for some of these things for you. Because it's imagine Kotoko is playing a game on a Friday night. Last season and last 2 seasons, Hearts of Folk were playing most of their games on a Friday night at the Lagos Stadium. Attendance improved massively. Massively, Lagos Stadium on them. Kotoko at some point in time were doing it, but there were times that there were complaints about Chroma say generator, best of floodlights, and petrol and saying so Kotoko could not play under floodlights a lot. If you play under floodlights, it gets done. So all of these things are creative ways how the fans can go back to the board and go back again. These are some questions. You can call them. Match or your preaching not for opponent team say on send who 2 goals now. That's not your job. And on your you provide a level ground. Now my fan be our who say you buy your bay, your boy rich. You see, mean will be out. There is an immigration officer who had gone missing and had passed. It was easy to identify the suspects of that situation because apparently no one joined a Kobako. And members of Sahel Kono had seen him before. Boom. Especially in Accra. Easily, they could come and say, Yenima Kowi, say, what can I say a tramping? But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the suspect will easily assessed. Okay. And it's a very, 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 very important. Okay? Rich, Metiasie Ewo Yasanti Memuhano. We like to do things traditionally. But Ebia Chairman Solo team, it's important that if Chairman Solo wants to do things in a traditional way, he also bring a little of Mamin Kawen say buklon kakras for some bebeno. Now I'm make see if you answer ni buklon and come because Chairman Solo will be experienced on the ground person, big organizer of people. But maybe there may be people that can sit back and say, no, yenye strategy ni enchesan kakra ni efa we shaha. Unfan kophobis are men and yet obia yedini winning power. NSOD position. Some of them are good for organizing the base aspects. Let them be there. Bring on people like that. Let them help you. Galvanize the base and then deliver.
Okay. And also, now Black Stars again, the Bamandia, ye bet me na ye didn't come on at the FA. I mean, I'm much now so champion of champions, no Basso. The winner of the league and now the FA Cup. Ye Bona and so ye they are shot the new season and so in Sediana. Oko aye abuchira EPO no mbo community shield ni enso ye ni champion. Na me na do chira na eba so baby any Gold Stars any Kumasi Asante Kotoko na ebo na samba onel say game na Kotoko wurem no ade ba ko pene do mutim enti na yem family this game na ho enso nkomo.
It's going to be very, very difficult as we know, but we are getting ready for the challenge. We are coming all out for it, so we are going to take it. The score is in the top 4, so we are coming to take our revenge. So as you know, we are getting ready for it.
Okay, and the Samba O'Neill and Dongani, Commander Sonoko defender. And ahead of the game, no say game no the can or can create a bad thing because Kotoko Gold Stars and the woman G League no Nancy and so top 4 no Omne Sanjay and Omushia Kotoko Musa Shomo na also any players and come on what didn't say so our game we they don't mutima and say yeah Konya ko revenge Konya Gold Star for Nancy Omatana Kotoko Nije so no Omuso Konoma kwati tia awo nyame admo china baby ani na game no enso etimi abaso Ayala I say revenge.
Enka, this game is supposed to be a curtain raiser.
Yeah.
But Kotoko performance was tough for Muntino. Ama game with the pressure about Kotoko so. Say Kotoko more tough phobia. And anka omo every preseason everybody champion of champion. Enka there will be no expectation on Kotoko. Enka sama kan kon kasa say. But somebody is talking this way because on him say the expectation of the fans and then they say Masama kugumu when man say oh top for no. Some of us say nye GDBA for the season I kumuna. Monster team who signs say top for no was just a blip B. And I'm but yes, I'm season and that is why the Kotoko captain is speaking the way or not or Kasano. on the other hand, Go Stars akwaje top 4 no. Enti with him and also with Omono pressure papa bi ani omo so. And Rich AI attacker say he who is down fears no fall. And can a normal circumstances no ka Kotoko na wa nya de o top 4 no. Emum kwa ne kwasa ka game we osuro. Cause on the obi anu say no man go ye. But Rich, it is Kotoko. And no man go ye no can't and you have to return to winning ways. Now, what we are now I'm saying media, and I'm saying media kind of crisis. Ye painted pictures of Kotoko womb. Ningi now was because Kotoko anyade or top 4. And no pamu players be and a players because you know what do come so mon come so my trema so mon j and I say Rich, that is how results affected him. Football, it is all about results. And if you don't get it, it becomes a problem. Now, I think so match where Emma two teams know another opportunity to test their progress during preseason. Yebeka wa say top 4 no ma yehu say baby any for no do omaje competition no but mu adwuma ye wo mu team nim, especially omu concentration in defense, because they conceded for a club in Africa. They conceded too many goals out top 4 nim. And these are clubs are Rich almost standard Andrew Kabili. And he said club and standard Andrew Kabili.
No shower.
Fie na otimi penetrate you no shower. Then you must be worried going to face Kabili. And see, they need to watch how very, very compact they can be to start marking clean sheets. Rich Africa ne kono a strategical. The Fiifi say games are you need to know what you want from the game and play it as such. Ubekwa way where you need to be defensively tight, compact. Ubebo fie where you need to have the perfect balance. Now why a clinical. Unya chance and no washe, now I can't watch him, unya chance and no washe, now I can't watch him. Now Ubo game, you have to manage every time be a situation be a game. And these are the things you learn from these games. For me, Ochira will give us another opportunity to watch, and we will observe with keen interest how the two clubs in Africa, no?
Especially how our people almost for the league and Africa, no?
Maybe almost standard that could do CCA. Said, I'm not mentioning a lot of the league. He said, league in the marathon, Rich.
Okay.
Hey, and now no man go Kotoko top 4. You bet must start a league. Now I must start ye. Now say Liverpool call Lusu community shield. No, what were their supporters saying? Almost we need community shield now. We need EP or not. What does that tell you? It tells you say even getting razors in the no. It doesn't really count in the long haul of playing the whole season. And the top 4 can even be a blessing in disguise for Kotoko to know what to do going into the game. No, but Rich, one thing I very, very definitely say time now you preseason. No, anytime now about top 4. No. If you were not close to knowing your first 11, Rich, right now you must be close in knowing why am I your first 11. So, for instance, Kotoko between Hadari and Kamara, why need them? You must know your first choice goalkeeper. And I'm bringing this up because Yehu Kotoko having issues with first choice goalkeeper, so they must know by now. Say Samba Bebo as one of the center half. Only Ansu and Asa Zakaria and Ebo Sisia because Abulepra. They must know right now. Lord Amoni ho. Emmanuel Kote ni ho. Shaibu Nebobo right hand side of Kotokana. They must know. I think say even Afuba, you know. Still now on team to Patrick Asiedu. Until left back on the Kotokoni problem. Biggest challenge. Rich Sisia Utiwe. Even as a key journalist, I will follow Kotoko. You can say name Kotoko me for that you struggle.
How many household names?
They've not even gotten a combination.
The boy in Adiachini.
Are they going to play Seth Kojo any Adabo?
But now Adabo guy, solid though.
Until Omuno Mobabana. Or they are going to make some changes. Now Emmanuel entry, number 10. Baba Yaya number 10. Yes, Donzu number 10. And why never Kotoko number 10 no? Or are they going to play only one expected DM? Say Abia set Kojo and I say Adabo one pay and push Emmanuel entry deep as number 8. Say they be castrated from deep, then they will have the opportunity to play either Baba Yala and I say Donsu as number 10. Rich any more. Play me say Saka Dauda. Play me say Albert Amwa. Play me say Kwame Poku. Any Omo Makano. Omo Shisha Omo saying is Albert Amwa going to lead the lines? Omo Bomu two strikers mienu and I say look, Kotoko should by now be getting close to the structure of Omo first 11 and Omo team. Same with team and friend baby and go stars. Okay. And see, after our game, we want to see them make progress after the top 4. Give us hints on how our season, you know, or more especially on the room now or more etimi as statiti or just a catching razor, but we'll be there for the performance and from the behind the scenes and no man can be a catcher about the two teams, you know, ahead of the season.
About me, be a line, so no, I'm 3220 835.